So today I'm digging up my running bamboo, a Phyllostachys vivax Huangwenzhu. It's been in the ground for a number of years, hasn't really done much on top, so I'm wondering how far have the rhizomes spread? And it is a prolific spreader once it starts going. And let's have a look how far it's gone. So this is the one here I'm talking about. This is the Huangwenzhu. This one here. It is run up to here because there was a new shoot coming out here. So obviously the rhizome is going that way. So now we have to have a look whether more rhizomes spread somewhere else. This one here next to it is a Phyllostachys aureocalis. It's from this plant over here. So obviously this one has spread. But what I also want to show you, they're starting to come up. So as we can see here there are new canes coming up. This is not from the Huangwenzhu, this is from the aureocalis aureoculata. Anyway, you know, they really roll off the tongue, those names, don't they? Anyway, so this is the one from this bamboo here. What I love about this one is, see the canes, the way they bend? Reason for that is because it grows so fast, the canes don't have time to harden. So obviously as it grows and then the weight comes from the top, they start to bend a little bit. So that's the reason why they're crooked. So what I'm going to do with this one here, this one is actually going to go into a pot. Let's start digging. And you basically just go in with a spade and have a look where the rhizome is. I prefer doing this with a flat-headed spade. It just makes more sense. For me, it is a personal preference, obviously. It's not that you should be using this one. Whatever works for you, you should use. And seeing that this is the plant, this is the original plant, so obviously all the rhizomes are going from here somewhere. So all I'm doing now, pretty close to it, just step onto it. Oh, obviously with the grass, it's not that easy sometimes. You know, feel, if I can feel a rhizome. And you just do this all the way around the plant, where you come up for some resistance here. I don't know whether you can hear this. That's pretty much a sign that there is a rhizome. Let's start actually digging. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, you know, Lara Croft style. Although I look more like Hercule Poirot. So there is a rhizome here. Great. So after a little bit of Lara Crofting, Indiana Jonesing and stuff like that, looking for one of the rhizomes, I found one. Let me show you. An overall understanding. So this is the rhizome trench I dug, and I've got plenty of other things growing in here, and here a cane came out, or a rhizome came out and became a cane. So obviously I could have just cut that one off, and if more would come out, I would see them. On the other side, however, I did not dug a rhizome trench, and looking back as how unassuming this bamboo was or is, this is what's happening underneath it. Mother canes, shall we call them? And here we have a rhizome going all the way along here, along there, along here, and continuing. And here you can see that would have been a new cane, that would have been a new cane, and this one here as well. So all of this has grown underground and you weren't aware of it. And altogether, it's about 1.50 meters away from the plant. This is how far it has grown so far. So this is the reason why you either put a rhizome trench around it, or you put a rhizome barrier around it, or check it twice a year with a spade, which clearly I have not done, because I wanted to do this experiment to have a look how far it actually grows underground before it looks substantial on top. And this is one of those things where you're going, oh, you know, I'm the first one to admit it. Oh, the bamboo, they grow really shallow, so it's really easy. The one thing I found with the Huangwenzhu is the only one that really isn't. My Atravaginata, shallow. The rhizomes are really just a few centimeters below ground. It's exactly the same with Phyllostachys japonica. Love that one. Have it absolutely everywhere in the garden and really, really shallow. Easy to detect. Negra, my black bamboo. The aureoculata, they're all shallow. But the Huangwenzhu, not always. This one I dug out earlier on, you know, shallowish, shall we say. I mean, I don't know how long my hand is, but we're talking, what, 10, 12 centimeters below ground? And then here we have, this is This was started off quite shallow. Then I split it. I hacked through it. And look at this one here. And then this is the culm that came out in the rhizome trench. And then you have another one underneath it going down. So this is at least 30 centimeters below ground. So I'm not quite sure exactly how much lower that thing would go. I actually have far more of the Huangwenzhu further on, and they grew down to like 45 centimeters deep. And this is the time when I'm thinking, you know, are you taking the piss? You know, so I'm digging like a mole rat. I have my rhizome trench around it, which gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is the reason why they're coming out. Well, they're going into pots, and then I have to have a look what I'm going to do with them. And I know some people will go like, no, this is what you get when you plant bamboo. No, it is not. As far as I'm concerned, just my Huangwenzhus. They are just a little bit too deep for me because I can't be asked digging as deep as that. All the other ones are perfect plants. So while I was digging about, I found another rhizome. This one here, but this one does not come from that one, it comes from that one, because you can see that this is the tip of the rhizome. And see, because this one is as shallow as it is, I mean, it's like as long as my finger, that's how deep it is. You can actually pull it as well. So this is quite an easy task, shall we say. So there you go. When you put your finger in the hole, there you can feel that the other rhizome is going here. Well, obviously this one is connected to. There we go. And this is another way how to control your running bamboo. Just pull the rhizomes out. There is no need to be afraid of these things. You just need to check. And as you just saw, once you find them, if they're shallow enough, you just pull them out, and that's it. Not like this one, where you have to dig like a mole rat. Super unassuming plant, you know, 2 canes. This one was the older one. This is the one that came last year. And, you know, yeah, quite tall, whatever, but didn't really look big. Underneath it, so this is the grass. Underneath we had this rhizome here going along, and there's still a little bit left in there. I'm going to take that out. And here you can see where the new shoots are coming up. Then we have another rhizome going off on the side here. So from this one here, it just grew that way. And obviously here you can see we got the whole thing out because that's the tip of the rhizome. On the other side, this rhizome going along here, this one came out in the rhizome trench, and there is more growing underneath it. So there would have been another one, another rhizome here, another rhizome there. So obviously it diverted into different directions here. In all, this is what was underground, and only this was on top. And obviously, as I said before in other videos, the fibrous roots, nobody gives 2 shits about. You can just leave them in. The only thing that needs to come out is the rhizome. And that's it. Because the fibrous roots, they can go down like 80 centimeters, and I ain't gonna be digging 80 centimeters. I'm not stupid. Anyway, so that is it for the rhizome. And yes, you could say it's like the tip of an iceberg, because there is a shitload more going on underneath than you see on top. And always be aware of that. Well, that was a lot of fun. If you appreciate the hard work, it would be great if you could like the video and perhaps subscribe to the channel. It really does help. Anyway, so all I'm going to be doing now is just potting up the bamboo in a 90-liter pot. I know it's only going to be big enough for a little while, but until I know what I'm actually going to do with it. And then obviously clean up, and that's me for the day. And the end result. And I shall talk to you guys later. Bye.